the leaders of the Black Lives Matter organization, who calls herself a trained Marxist, is now being called a fraud after property records showed Patrisse Cullors shelled out millions of dollars on 4 luxury homes. One of them in Los Angeles' exclusive 88% white Topanga Canyon.
Oof.
This, as the Associated Press reports, Black Lives Matter took in some $90 million in donations last year. Now remember, this is the organization. The movement with people in the streets, they're not getting rained down on by cash. Now other people in the organization want an investigation into the group's finances. The head of the New York chapter...
Hold on, wait a minute. What if she already had these deals in play when she was, she was probably already in real estate? What about that? She probably was already in real estate. This right here was, what if she ain't used none of Black Lives Matter money for any of this? No, y'all not rolling, are you? How many of y'all think she used Black Lives Matter money? Y'all don't make no sense.
Want an investigation into the group's finances. The head of the New York chapter of BLM org also wants a close look at Cullors' personal finances, saying a self-professed socialist should ask how much of their own money is going to charitable causes. Oh, this is interesting, Pete Hegseth.
You know what? She's actually a very well-trained Marxist. It's because she's a member of the bourgeoisie. She controls the means of production. It's the proletariat, the masses that get to enjoy the fruits of Marxism. Like all those local chapters of Black Lives Matter that are having to do GoFundMe pages because they've never seen any of the money from the central machine, which is raised up to $90 million and growing. So this doesn't surprise me at all. She got the ability to have access to cash and wealth because through a movement which has metamorphosized ever since, and she's being called out for it. And hopefully there is an investigation. We don't know where she got the money and how she earned it, and maybe she's turned into a capitalist.
Now, this was April 12th, 2021. Was there an investigation? And if there was an investigation, how did it end up? Dang it, I gotta do my research. I swear to goodness. Because I see something on the side of here that says Black Lives Matter under scrutiny for allegedly failing to disclose something or other. It doesn't say they died. It got the ellipses after it. But I want to know more about this. And that's the only reason why I'm looking into it, because I really need to know more about this right here.
But those Marxists have a way of enriching themselves when they're at the top.
You know, Kennedy, I make such a point of saying that the movement versus the organization.
Okay, time out. Before I say anything else, if y'all like this type of content, please do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, also the notification bell, so that next time we post content, you'll be the first to be notified. Now, for anyone that's watching this that are fans of Black Lives Matter, would you please comment below exactly what's going on with the funding from Black Lives Matter? Was this lady really doing all these things with the money? Or was that from her own money? Because this is the only way I can get truth right here. It's unfortunate that the other side has to make sure that they hold one side accountable, but because we should be holding our own accountable. But since that isn't happening, I want to know. So please let me know, guys.
Right, because we know that the organization's fundraising, they're doing all sorts of things, and we don't have eyes on that money. And as Pete says, maybe it's a good idea, not just because of the house buying, but just in general, since there's so many promises made to the people in the streets. But they're, it's not like they're members. They're just in the streets because they want social justice. So what do you think they need to know about this situation?
That the people, and obviously it's important to make that differentiation. I'm glad you did, because there are people for whom the phrase Black Lives Matter resonates. It means something to them, and it is a cause worth fighting for. There are other people who are really, really good at marketing, and it's funny that they call themselves socialists because they're really hyper-capitalists. And
she's a beautiful black woman, I'll tell you that much. She is a beautiful black woman. It's unfortunate that this scrutiny is on her right now, and it's a and if this is actually what she's been doing on purpose, like using people's funds to I guess selling people a dream, and then when people buy that dream, she used that dream to buy herself a dream house. That's unfortunate as heck, man. I didn't want to say heck, but Yeah, that's the word I'm gonna choose to use for this video. But yeah.
You know, again, I love capitalism, and I'll go ahead and give her the benefit of the doubt. I have no idea how much they paid in taxes, if they paid any money in taxes, if they're a 501c3. But let's say she made her money in GameStop and Bitcoin, and if that's the case, and she participated in,
that's what I'm saying.
The thriving aspects of the free market economy that have not been tamped down by the federal government.
That's what I'm saying.
Real estate in LA, always a great investment. So in that respect, I'm very, very proud of her.
She's such a jerk for giving her that daggone sideways compliment.
I just want to dip my toe in the water real gently here in the river of hypocrisy. Can we? Just for a moment. I'll put my flip-flop back on in a second. Kaylee, I'm just wondering, you know, you're talking about social justice, particularly for people of color. Why not take those funds that you've earned, maybe, you know, Dogecoin, wherever she got rich, paid her taxes, did whatever, as Kennedy points out, we don't know. But why not take that back to a neighborhood of color or a neighborhood where, you know, you can be among the people? I don't know. I'm just simply asking the question. You can live wherever you want, but you're preaching something different.
Yeah.
Or you can buy a house for the people. There's an idea. Buy a house for the people. How about that one? The money is from them. Do something for them. That makes sense to me. Or if you're going to buy something amongst the white folk, then move all the black folk out there and let them live in the house that you just now purchased. Because some of them may not have had the privilege of living in a neighborhood such as the one that you bought your houses. And this would be a great experience for them. Might change their mindset, show them that, you know, you can do great things in life without conning people out of their money.
Yeah, one would think a self-proclaimed trained Marxist would do exactly what you just described, but she didn't. But look, to Kennedy's point, if she got these funds through a legitimate way, not through the BLM fundraising mechanism, good for her. Look, she came from public housing. She writes about in her book. She grew up in public housing. Her mom was a mom of 4, worked 16-hour days, and their only grocery store was the 7-Eleven. She came from very humble beginnings and now has risen to great heights. So good for her, except this. That is the American dream, what we're describing, but she professes an ideology directly at odds with the American dream. Trained Marxists, but trained Marxists often do this. Bernie Sanders, a self-proclaimed Democrat socialist, makes millions and has 3 houses. Elizabeth Warren has a net worth of almost $8 million. So as we find with trained Marxists, socialists, and others, they often don't practice what they preach.
Yeah, you know, I guess I just see it as a missed opportunity, Emily. She should be, or could be, I shouldn't say should be, because it's not about the judgment, but she could be, you know, lifting others up and teaching them how to do exactly what she did. Pulling them out of poverty so that when things happen, they don't have to loot and break things. They actually have a future that they...
You guys, for them to be pointing out all of the things that she's not doing with the monies and everything, they are still... I mean, they're making suggestions. They're making suggestions, and they're showing pictures of her looking pretty favorable. So they're not doing her injustice at all, in my opinion. It's just they're just trying to hold her accountable, I suppose.
Can participate in and lift themselves up, and then challenge a justice system to treat them better.
Right. There is nothing wrong with using your hard-earned money to purchase large homes and whatever you want. What is difficult to stomach is either A, if that money was obtained fraudulently, and or B, if, as you pointed out, you are not in line with what you profess to, what your ideology is. If her whole purpose is amplifying those of color, if her whole purpose is lifting up those communities, then what does this say? And I'd like to make 2 quick points. Number 1, those investigations that are being called for by other Black Lives Matter leaders, if something is uncovered there in the way of fraud or corruption or any type of money mismanagement, I bet that you will hear nothing about it by the mainstream media, or it will be pinned on
No?
one scapegoat. And secondly, that for those who really care about that movement and who want to donate money to it, then I suggest they find local, transparent organizations that they know their dollars are actually going toward achieving equality and equity there, because I don't think this organization is it.
There you have it, folks. Y'all let me know y'all side, man. I really want to know in the comments below. And if you have yet to hit that subscribe button, please make sure you do so on your way out the door. Once again, guys, I'm Van, and now we are all the LFR family, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video and hopefully inside of the Patreon as well. Y'all have been amazing. Love y'all.